Today we talk about dictionaries. This is yet another data structure you need to know about, in particular in data science. We first explain what a dictionary is, then we add values into a dictionary, and we see how we can extract values from a dictionary. Then we apply the list function to a dictionary to obtain the keys. And finally, we construct dictionary from tuples, which we discovered in a different video. We also use keyword arguments to construct dictionaries. So off we go. So the first thing to note is if you want to start a dictionary, you use the wavy brackets, open closed wavy brackets. We have seen these brackets before, but in the context of sets. Now this is different as we have to specify a key. So basically a dictionary is a key value pair. So for instance, you can put in a name as the key, and this is followed by a column, and then you put a value. Now the value could be another string, so for instance Tom, or it could be a numeric or any other type. Now this would start a dictionary. So if we want to check how this looks like, we can just throw in a print function, and you see now we obtain the name and the value of it. Again, the name is the key, Tom is the value. The main purpose of dictionaries is to store these values associated to the keys. So when we go back to other data structures, we used indexing. If you think about tuples or lists, we used indexing to extract a value. Now indexing is done by position. In the case of dictionaries, that doesn't work. We have to use the key name. So for instance, to extract the value Tom, we can do the following. We use a print function, go into my dictionary, then in rectangular brackets we specify the key name, and we execute that, and you will obtain Tom, the value associated to the respective key. The other thing is we can start adding more items into it. So that's the next step in using the update method. So we go back to our dictionary object, use the dot operator, so we have access to the methods, and use update. And in here we can specify new keys and new values. So for instance, I could add here age. So you see inside the brackets I use the wavy brackets, and now I use age as a key followed by the column, and then I put in now a value. Now in this particular case, if it's age, it's making sense to put in an integer. So let's put in 43. So that's what we have done. Now I use a print statement on it and execute that, and now you see there's one more key value pair added to our dictionary. Now it's quite often useful to extract all the keys which are used in a dictionary. So that can be in particular useful if you later want to loop over the keys to extract values, for instance. And one very powerful way of doing that is to use the list function and apply this to a dictionary. Let's do that. I just call this list keys, and I now use list and just put in my dictionary. And then we can just print the list of keys. So let's do that. And now you see appearing as a list with these rectangular brackets is a list of the keys. Now if you want to sort this list, you can of course now apply a sort to this list, or you could go straight into it using sorted instead of list. So we can just replace that, put in sorted, and then we would have a sorted list of keys. So as I said before, that's very useful very often if you want to loop over the keys to extract values, for instance. The final thing I want to show is I want to use the Dict constructor. We want to construct dictionaries from other data structures. Again, this is very, very useful in coding. So for instance, I call this a new dictionary. There are different ways to add these key value pairs. So one way is to use a list of tuples. Yeah, so it's a list, and inside we have tuples where we specify first the key and second its value. Yeah, so for instance, we can do name Amy, and then we have a second tuple. Again, that's inside a list, all of it. There we could, for instance, have position, and we might put here as position, say, data nerd, if we spell it correctly, but anyway, we are data nerds, we can't really spell. So here we are, so that should do it. Let's do a little print function on our new dictionary, constructed with the Dict constructor. And you see we now have a new dictionary that is constructed from a list where each and every element in that list is a tuple. Yeah, and the tuple has the structure key followed by the value. There is another way of doing exactly the same using positional arguments. You don't use the quotation marks. You don't have to indicate that's a string, because by default a positional argument refers to a string. So you can do the following. You can do name equal to Amy, and then just with a comma, position equal to data nerd. So that also works. We have to be careful here with all these brackets. And that is sometimes more convenient. Yeah, so you have to play around a bit, and now you see the same dictionary emerging. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.